The 18 Strong Podcast, episode number 318 with Michael Losier, author of The Law of Attraction. What's up, guys? Welcome to the 18 Strong Podcast, where we know the stronger we are, the better we play. I'm Jeff, I'm your host, and I'm excited to have you here. If this is your first time listening, I want to warn you that we like to say this is way more than a golf and fitness podcast, and you're definitely going to see why when I bring in today's guest, best-selling author and speaker Michael Losier. You see, the mission of this podcast is to do more than just help you get into better shape or simply score better. It's about all of us working to get stronger every single day. In fact, we see this as a movement with the goal of helping our 18 Strong crew enjoy the game more from every aspect. And we like to do that a little differently sometimes by bringing in experts that aren't necessarily in the world of golf, but the messages and the lessons that they teach are 100% applicable to nearly every aspect of performance. And that's why sometimes I'd like to joke that this show is maybe more of a personal development podcast disguised as a golf podcast, because deep down, I know that each and every one of you listening, just like me, wants to be the best version of ourselves, not just on the golf course, but in everyday life. That's who is in the 18 Strong crew, the golfer that's looking for ways to fight the norms and to take ownership. Look, too many guys I know are looking for the quick fixes, and they're just complacent with where they are physically, professionally, mentally, or with their golf game. But it doesn't have to be that way. So if you feel like you're in a rut or you're not getting the results that you want, I want you to pay very close attention to this podcast, because our guest, Michael Losier, is literally the world's foremost expert on teaching people how to get what they want. Michael's known as the how-to guy for teaching the Law of Attraction. He's the best-selling author of 3 books, The Law of Attraction, Law of Connection, and Your Life's Purpose. His book, The Law of Attraction, The Science of Attracting More of What You Want and Less of What You Don't, which is the book that we're going to dive into today, has sold over 3.5 million copies in 37 languages. He's worked with individuals all over the world, including the occasional golfer, and he's certified 550 Law of Attraction facilitators in 17 countries, teaching them how to use accelerated learning techniques when teaching the Law of Attraction to their students. So Michael's teaching has caught the attention of some of the most influential figures in the world of personal development and performance, including the one and only Oprah Winfrey, who's interviewed Michael 4 times on her Soul Series radio show, as well as Andy Frisella of First Form Nutrition and the insanely popular MF CEO, or now it's called the Real AF podcast, which is one of my go-to podcasts lately when it comes to business and mindset. And that's where I really first heard of Michael's book, because Andy constantly references it as the most practical book ever on getting what you want. And the reason that Andy's recommendation stuck out to me so much is that typically when people hear the term Law of Attraction, I think that they think of some, mystical fantasy, or they think of the movie The Secret, where you just wish for something and it appears, right? But as Andy, who is admittedly not a very warm and fuzzy kind of a guy, as he explained, it's the practical steps of Michael's book that had such an impact on him and his team, and on helping somebody step by step do the things and get what they want. So as you'll hear Michael explain, we get what we focus on, and it literally all boils down to what questions you're asking yourself over and over again. And so what I love about this episode is that, first, I can guarantee that this podcast is going to teach you something that you've never heard on any other golf podcast. But if you take what Michael teaches you today, and I'm telling you, this is just 1/10 of what's in his book, but if you take what he teaches you today and start applying it, literally right after you listen to this episode, you can literally reset the results that you've been getting and start to get what you truly want. All right, let's buckle up, pay attention. Here's Michael Losier. Michael Losier, welcome to the 18 Strong Podcast.
Hey, good day, and thanks for having me aboard today. My hunch is today's topic might be a little bit of a head turner, but stay tuned with us, because I'm going to tell you today what you should be doing on the way to the golf course so you can get inside your own golfer's mind. Today,
I think that's what's going to be so unique and cool about today's episode, because this is something that I don't hear anybody in the golf world really talking about. We have so many of the sports psychologists and mindset practitioners and coaches, but I mean, when it comes to Law of Attraction, I think that many people have a certain, thought process around what that means. And I know that you are literally the how-to guy when it comes to how to actually put that into place. And so we're really going to dive in pretty deep with that here and especially for the golfer themselves.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Again, they can do it on the way in the car there, but when we're ready, we're going to open up with a quick little quiz so people can identify. They might not be used to using the word law of attraction, but we're going to open up with that today.
So how did you get into, first of all, writing the book? I know that you are a practitioner of NLP, and many people listening to the show might not even know what that is. So if you could just give us a little history on you and kind of what brought you to this point where you are the guy.
Yeah, well, law of attraction brought me to the point where I'm at today. I'll fill in the blanks, right? When I worked for the government, I was managing a lot of people. So I did study NLP, which is the study of human behavior and what motivates people and how they connect and communicate. So a good manager needs to know that. So I learned that. And then I always understood about law of attraction because I always, I was big when I was growing up. So I understood about being bullied, right? And there was always a connection about being bullied. And at the time, I didn't know the word, but about, putting off the vibe that I'm going to get bullied. I
Right.
knew that. I was young. And then I would say, okay, you know what? I like, and I'd focus on something, try to be positive, right? And guess what? People would compliment me. And I thought, this is so weird. I didn't know what it was. Like most people, they've had the experience, but they didn't know it had a name. So meanwhile, I'm working for the government and I'm kind of doing this on the side. And now I'm coaching people on the side. I remember at my government job, I went down to a 4-day work week. So I had Fridays off, and Friday became my law of attraction day. And I would get on radio interviews. And, this was before even podcasts. This was like 19 years ago. I would get on teleconference calls with direct sales network marketing companies and talk and talk and talk. And I'd hang up the phone and I would get swarmed with emails. People said, oh, I love when you said that. And I love when you said that. And okay, and can you repeat that again? And so I'm taking notes. And I thought, I'm just going to put it out there. So before I did anything, and I mean anything, the very first thing I did with my book, Law of Attraction, was the cover. Matter of fact, I went to the post office and said, how thick can a book be before it doesn't fit in the mail slot? They told me. I went to a bookstore. You know how many pages it is? 144 pages. So I worked backwards. I knew I had a book that I wanted to write because people were asking me. My NLP, we learn a lot about how to teach the different styles. So if you've read my book, it's got worksheets in it. It's got cartoons. It's got characters. It's got illustrations. It got check-off lists. It's got blank spaces. All of it's deliberate because there's 4 styles of people reading it, and I'm appeasing to all the styles. So meanwhile, every Thursday for a year, or Thursday night, because I get home from my government job at 5 o'clock, and at 5:30, I would host the same Law of Attraction introductory call every Thursday for a year. Well, you know that I know, golfing included, do anything every day, every once a week for, and get good at it.
Yeah.
And now I've got notes. I've got how to open up the call and where I should take questions. And here's an example. And so then before the bookstore, I had gone to see a speaker in Victoria. I live on an island. So if you're here at 6 o'clock, you're not leaving, okay? So I went to see a speaker and it was like 7:30. And I thought at night, and I said, hey, do you want to, I said, I knew he wasn't leaving. So I said, if you need someone to hang out with, because Victoria is Canada's #2 tourist destination. A shout out, if you ever wanted to go to Canada's most beautiful city, it's here. #2 tourist destination right beside Niagara Falls, which really doesn't count, but they think it does. So he said, yeah, so we're going for a walk. And I was motivated because by this time I'm doing a lot of law of attraction stuff and I'm influencing a lot of people. And that's one of my life purposes, is to influence people in a positive way. So that was going on. So he told me, he said, well, it'd be easy for you to do a talk if you had a book. I thought, I don't have a book. I live on Gilligan's Island. I'm a government employee. I don't have a book. And on the way home, I thought, you don't have a book, but you have a binder. You have a 9-inch binder, thank you cards and pictures and notes and success stories and people sending me their worksheets, because in the book, I get them to go through the processes. They're sending me worksheets. So I took a year. I'm still working for the government. And I took a year and I developed everything into a seminar. And then I started doing this seminar. So this book was actually all my seminar notes that a program director would use, like reading
Right.
the seminar. Yeah. Uh, so cute. Now, meanwhile, I'm going back to the 30 call, the, um, the Thursday night, 300 people on the line.
Wow.
And I thought, this was a long time ago, 20 years ago. The thought of collecting email addresses, I don't even think Amazon was alive and doing it. So it was kind of a foreign thing in my business. So I got the cover design first before anything else, not even the back cover, just the front cover. I put it on a website, lawofattractionbook.com. It was the only book with the word law of attraction in the world. And we put the book cover on it. We had a real old school thing that said, hey, do you want to be notified when the book is released? It's just a dream, but that's how I do things, right?
Yeah.
So finally pulled the book together. I self-published. I sent it to a Canadian printer. They called and said, cash on delivery. We'll have it to your place on Thursday morning. I ordered 5,000 of them, 97 cents each. And I'm a government employee. So that's $5,000, which is pretty cheap, but it's five. So I had a credit card waiting. I had a credit card that's going to pay for these 5,000 books. So then I said, well, I'm going to send an email to all the people that let me know for the last Thursdays. And I mean, lots of people, like 300 people on some calls wanting the class. And I would do it on purpose. I would say, you know what, there's some things in the notes I'm not going to cover. Or I'd say something really fast that, you know what, it's in the notes. So, I created a demand for notes. So I sent an email on the weekend, because I wasn't working for the government then. I sent an email to the weekend and I said, hey, the books have arrived. I priced them at $21.95. You know why? Because it was the only book in the world. And now it's like $9.99, by the way, if you're looking. It's $9.99, but people are paying $21.95 for this book. And I'm living on Gilligan's Island. So I woke up Monday morning and I thought I had a virus. You know what it said? You made a sale. You made a sale. And you know how that your screen's blinking, right? Swirling. Like a ticker tape. I sold 5,000 books in one email overnight.
Oh my goodness.
I woke up to like lots of money in my bank account. Remember the credit card that had zero on it? I never needed that. I got all that money deposited before the books got delivered. So I'm waking up Monday morning. I'm not with the government anymore. So I had my freedom. Well, I didn't have freedom. I had 5,000 books to ship.
Right.
So then I got a book. So then it was like a game show. I was holding it, signing it. Somebody was licking it and stamping it and putting it, and that was the whole routine. And then the email stopped. Of course, I told everybody until 4 days later. Can I order a 10-pack? How many's in a case? I had no books. You know why I wrote the book? So I could say I have a book so I can go on stage. Honestly, I did not know it would sell 3.5 million copies, 37 languages, interviewed by Oprah Winfrey 4 times in her Soul series. I had my own radio show on the Oprah Network for a year. And listen to this. I never had a business card and I never made a phone call in my entire career.
That is unbelievable.
Real. Nothing did it to me or for me. I created it. And I created the success of my book in 37 languages. I've also certified 480 trainers in 17 countries. This is in so many languages. Sometimes I get books in the mail. I don't know they're mine until I see my name on it because they changed the cover. So I said all of that because I want people to get today's important. And it might be a paradigm shift. And a paradigm shift means like you got to turn your head all the way around and kind of swallow a pill. And just stick with me for a while because I'm going to get inside the golfer's mind. And I'm also going to let the golfer know how to prove what's in the golfer's mind. And better than that, I'm going to teach them what they should be doing on the way there in the car or the airplane or how they're getting there. That's where the game starts. It doesn't start on the golf course. Say yes if you're in.
Yes, yes, they're all in. I know they're shaking their heads. They're in their car. They're working out right now. And I mean, I think that everybody that's listening to this, if you're not sitting down where you can take notes, this is one that you'll go back and listen to. I've got sheets and sheets of notes here because I've been through the book. Now I've been through the book twice. I've done the exercises. In fact, that's how we connected, Michael, was I was going through the exercises and I had a question about something and I got one of your emails, an automated email, and I was like, you know what? I'm just going to send an email back and see if he'll respond. And you did. You sent an email back pretty quickly, answered my question. And then I was like, wow, let's bring the expert on the show. So what was that?
Listen, I live on Gilbert Island. I built my whole career on radio interviews, and I had my own radio show for a couple of years. And this was the days of Google Hangouts before Facebook Live. I did 370 Fridays, 370 Fridays. So I have lots of information on YouTube. And I've also been doing another new show it's 3 years, every Saturday for 3 years. It's called The Emotion Code. It is a must. Just real briefly, I'm able to identify what's causing someone's physical pain and delete it live via the video and during a Facebook Live call. That's energy too. But today we're talking about the mindset. So we're going to open up with a little quiz. And oh, by the way, I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm a trainer. As a matter of fact, I'm a motivated trainer. So I'm going to expect people to write it down and repeat it after me. I already know it really well. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it for you. Right? So this is what accelerated learning. What does that mean? What if you could accelerate the speed at which you could practice it? Say yes if you're in. My hunch is you are. So just submit to, I'm going to take notes. I'm going to ask to repeat it. Again, every time you do that, you're help integrating the information. So here's my little quiz. I'm going to give you 5 things. Give yourself a point if you've ever used any of these words. It could be golf related or relationship related or work related, whatever. Have you ever used this word? Coincidence. Hey, this is such a coincidence. I was just thinking about you. Give yourself a point. Number 2, what about synchronistic or synchronicity? Well, this is so synchronistic. Give yourself a point if you use that. Jeff, you're playing as well. Number 3, give yourself a point if you've ever said karma. Well, that's karma. Give yourself a point if you've ever said good luck. And give yourself a point if you've ever said bad luck. My hunch is, well, at least 1, probably 2, maybe 5. Jeff, what's your score on that, please?
I got 5 there. I got all 5.
Okay. You know what? That's the best news in the world. Because you know what it tells me? Anytime you use the word fate or karma or synchronicity or serendipity or fate or kismet or karma or everything fell into place, I was just thinking about you, this is such a coincidence. All of those words are used to describe evidence of law of attraction. So, hey, this is such a coincidence. Coincidence is evidence of law of attraction. What we really could say, hey, this is so law of attraction. I was just giving you attention, energy, and focus, and the obedient universe unfolded and orchestrated and brought you to me. But isn't it easier to say it's a coincidence?
Very.
Or how about meeting people really and on the golf course and thinking, wow, this is so synchronistic. This is the exact kind of person I wanted to meet today. Really? Well, guess what? That's evidence of law of attraction. All of that to say, Jeff, you're already experiencing it. Everybody is. You're already experiencing law of attraction. You're not even doing anything on purpose. Everything that you're attracting to your life is matching the vibe. You say, well, what's the word vibe? I know you've used it. Jeff, have you ever said he or she gives off a good vibe or a bad vibe? Or maybe a neighborhood, or you go to a hotel or something, say, well, I don't like the vibe here. Have you ever used that word?
Oh, yeah, totally. You go in a social setting, you even go to a golf course and it's like, oh, I don't feel it. Or you walk right in. I had this experience not too long ago. I went to a place down in Tennessee and it was like, you walk in, you're like, man, this is just my kind of place.
That's right. So you hit it off, your vibration. You see, you have a vibe meter. You have a vibe meter, and your vibe meter tells you whether it's a match for you or not. You know what your vibe meter is? Your feelings. Say, I just met this person. We are hitting off. Or you might say, ooh, did they ever rub me the wrong way? So we use the word vibe, and the word vibe is used to describe a mood or a feeling. I don't use the word feeling, but you use the word vibe. It's like, what's a negative vibe? Well, that's a positive vibe. Now, even though the word vibe's kind of hipster, it actually comes from the longer word what?
Vibration.
Vibration. So I use the word vibration, and there's only two kinds, positive ones or negative ones. What's a vibration? A vibration of vibe. What's a vibe? A vibe is a mood or a feeling. Here's a next skill testing question, Jeff. When do we have a vibe?
When we
now.
Yeah.
Yeah, not at 3 o'clock. Oh, I'm going to have a feeling at 3 o'clock. No, right now, right? You cannot not have a mood or a feeling. That means right now and right now and right now, you are sending or putting off or emitting a positive or negative vibe. There's not one in the middle. Now, there's different degrees. You can be like a little irritated, or you can be really rageful. They're still on the negative dial. Or you could be content or like just totally blissed out. They're still on the positive. So right now, whether you like it or not, or believe it or not, or even deny having feelings, right now you have one. And it's either negative or positive. And it's causing you to emit the same vibration, and you can't stop it. And this is what we look like, men, women, anybody. We have this bubble around us. It's a pretend bubble because I'm a trainer. There's a pretend bubble. You know what it's called? Your vibrational bubble. This is the vibe. Your vibe isn't in your car or in your dresser drawer or in the office drawer. Your vibe is around you. We could stand beside people and pick up their vibe. Yes or no?
Yes, definitely.
A vibe isn't a smell. It's nothing that you hear. It's nothing that you see. A vibe is a feeling. I know everybody's had static with their partner or somebody, a boss, boyfriend, girlfriend. That's a feeling. That's negative vibration. And right now, this is you. Let's cue law of attraction. By the way, I'm not here to prove it. If I could, I'd put it in a petri dish and show it to you. I can't do that. This is the paradigm shift. Local energy around you. And it has a 2-word job description. Some people call it the universe. Some people call it law of attraction. Some people call it energy. Call it what you want. It has a 2-word job description. Imagine a job description, 2 words long. When I worked for the government, it was 17 pages long. And the last sentence said, anything else we want you to do. The job description for law of attraction can be put on a postage stamp. Okay, remember, this is you. Not even doing it on purpose. Maybe on the way to the golf course, you're thinking, oh, I don't want to bomb yesterday. What a disaster. I had this head crash, and, everyone's ticking me off yesterday, and I was so impatient. So, you know what? You don't have to get your vibrational meter tuned up to tell you that's a negative vibe that you're sending. How about you're thinking, I'm on a roll. I'm nailing it every day this week. People are coming up to me. I'm doing a good job. I love the sport. Boy, I'm just polished. Guess what? You're sending that vibration. There's not one in the middle. And you can't have two at the same time. It's one or the other. Here's law of attraction. Law of attraction is universal energy around you. It, being energy, is eavesdropping on the vibration that you're sending by giving you more of the same, whether negative or positive. I'm going to say it again. It's the most important sentence they're going to hear today. People think the universe only delivers good stuff. The universe isn't smart. It's obedient. And right now it's eavesdropping, and it's checking the vibration that you're sending about everything. And it's unfolding and orchestrating to unfold and orchestrate whatever needs to happen so you can keep attracting more of what you gave attention to. It's not smart. It doesn't know that you don't want to fail or be disappointed or have crazy negative self-talk. It doesn't know that. It's not a thing or a person. It doesn't have feeling. It is energy, and it's a matcher. It's not a decider. Thinking, wow, what's my vibe? It's the vibe that I'm sending. If you're curious and you want to know what vibe you're sending about your game or your swing or your mindset or your relationships, your customers or clients, thinking, well, what's the vibe I'm sending about that? I can tell you from here. If you're curious and you want to know what the vibe that you're sending about any area of your life, go to that area and take a look and see what you're getting. It's a perfect match. You want to know the vibe you're sending about money? Open your wallet. You want to know you want to know the vibe you're sending about that crazy talk on the golf course? I don't know. How's that working for you? Listen, I did not create the rule. I'm just teaching it. And here's the rule. I'm going to summarize everything I've taught you so far into 5 words. I could have come in and said the 5 words and left, but you'd be puzzled. You'll get it this time. Here's the 5 words. I get what I vibrate, period. Doesn't matter who you are, or how much money you have, or even the most positive people in the world attract negative things. Does it mean they're negative? No. Does it mean they gave attention to something that they didn't want? Yes.
I want to take a second to thank our partners over at Linksoul for providing us and you, the 18 Strong crew, with some of the greatest golf and leisure and casual apparel out there on the market. This week, I want to highlight the lightweight t-shirt hoodie that I've got on. It's long sleeve. It's got the Linksoul on the front. I've got several of these with several different designs on them, and I've been wearing them all over the place over the past couple of weeks. With the weather changing here in St. Louis, some days we're warm, some days we're cool, some days it's breezy. So this is the perfect thing to be able to wear out to the golf course, to the gym, or if you're just sitting out in the backyard or on the patio. So go over to Linksoul. Go to 18strong.com/Linksoul. You can check out all of their stuff. They've got their whole new spring line. I'll be talking about some different items in the next couple episodes because they've got some new stuff that I'm really digging so far. But go to 18strong.com/Linksoul. You'll see a code there for 20% off anything in your cart. Now, I've also mentioned this before that you want to get on Linksoul's email list when you have a chance because they always send out crazy deals just randomly here and there. Last week, they had a 50% off deal on everything on the website, so you don't want to miss out on that. So be sure that you're on their email list. But right now, go to 18strong.com/Linksoul. You'll get 20% off just for being part of the 18 Strong crew.
Okay, Jeff, hit me up with the question, comment.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much here to unpack, and I think that where we really want to spend some time today is really helping people figure out what are the things that they're doing right now that are causing those vibrations, especially the negative vibrations. Because you step out on the golf course and we all battle, you even said it, that inner talk that we have. You step on the tee box and there's water to the right. Oh, don't hit it in the water. Or, there's weeds on the left. Or this is a shot. This is one that I struggle with. I can picture in my head, and I'm playing at this golf course tomorrow. So this will be a great little test of will here. There's a shot that every time I have it, I end up in this certain yardage, and it's like, oh, the last time I was here, I know, right?
Law of attraction doesn't know that you're remembering this story. It's responding to how you feel about when you tell it. Everybody get that? This isn't just wishful thinking. I might give attention. Well, I remember this joke. I've done seminars all over the world twice. One of them was a disaster. It was in Australia. It was just a disaster. And if I tell you about it and I start to talk about it, I'm thinking, well, I just put, because we said, ooh, I just put that vibe out there. Hashtag, yes, you did. Our only job is to mind and protect our vibration. But I'm going to tell you how to reset that thought that you're having. First, I'm going to do maybe the bigger screen on this one. I want to show, this is some key important training material from my book. It's called The 4 Boxes.
And I'll post some pictures, like snapshots of this, because a lot of people will listen to this just on audio. So we'll put all this in the show notes.
Describe what they are. I want you to imagine that I have 4 boxes lined up in front of me from the left to the right. And the first box is just a box of words. Right? Just a box of words. And now I'm going to reach inside the box of words and I want to pull some words out. And then I want to form what? I'm going to form a thought with those words. We're in the blue box, so the second box. So now I'm thinking about something which is made up of words. And now, as I hold any thought, I start to get a feeling or a vibe about it. So now I'm thinking about failing in that tough shot and how I always fail in this spot and how I always get tired and get weak and I get thirsty and I go pee and blah, all the blah, blah, blah. So that's that's the thoughts that you're having. But today, you understand something else happens. First, you're using the words. Law of attraction doesn't hear you, but it's responding to the thoughts that you're sending because those thoughts are causing your vibe. Now, without knowing it, you unknowingly are sending the vibe to the thoughts that you're having. And here's what you learned today. Law of attraction is eavesdropping on those vibes. Remember the bubble guy? Same person. This is your vibes. Law of attraction is responding to your vibes, and look what you're getting. Results. Results. There's only two kinds of results that you can get, negative or positive. All areas of your life. Practice it tomorrow on the way there. It's not going to cost you anything. Big deal. But I'm going to teach you today how to change the conversation that you're having. The conversation that you're having, even though you're not having it out loud or writing it down or going to IHateMyGolfGame.com and complaining out there, Law of attraction is responding to the story you're telling yourself about anything and everything. And there's three words that you're using, you, Jeff, and everybody, me too. There's three words that we use, and when we use them, you know what it does? Boom. It causes us to include the thoughts about what we don't want. Listen, if you're in the car, pull over, because I want you to write these three words down. These three words, every time you use them, it causes you to give attention to what you don't want to give attention to. And as you give anything attention, it causes you to hold the vibration of what you're giving attention. Cue law of attraction. Law of attraction is eavesdropping on the vibration that you're sending when you're giving something attention, whether you want it or don't want it. And it's not smart, it's obedient. Here's the three words. Well, first, draw a circle like a golf ball. And inside that circle, write these three words. Don't. Not, N-O-T. Hey, the third word's only 2 letters long. What is it, Jeff? Don't, not, and?
No.
No. Don't, not, and no. Now, maybe some of our golfer friends are also entrepreneurs, business owners. Okay?
Definitely.
Wake up Monday morning, and they get an email that something didn't get signed, or the meeting got canceled, or somebody unsubscribed to your club, or whatever that is. First thing you saw. And then you say, oh, I hate when clients cancel appointments. It drives me crazy. And then you go to IHateWhenClientsCancelAppointments.com and you spend 10 minutes out there. And then you tell all your buddies, oh, I know, I had all these cancellations today. Don't you hate when that happens? Guess what? Law of attraction is not on holidays. It's responding to the vibration. And guess what happens in another 2 hours? Jeff, say it when you know it. What happens?
Another canceled appointment.
What is going on? It's the third cancellation today. I should have stayed in bed. Well, guess what? Staying in bed does not reset your vibration. The most important thing I want you to know today is this is the most important button you have in your whole life. What is it, Jeff? I'm holding it up. It's the
reset button.
Say yes if you love a reset button.
Yes.
Hey, listen, it's the first place I go to when something breaks down in my house. I'm tipping it upside down, looking for a red reset button. Well, guess what? What if I could tell you that you could reset your negative results to what you do want, just with the words? Let's take a look at the 4 boxes. Remember earlier I said we're getting results? So the reason why you're attracting a negative result is because you had sent a negative vibration, not knowingly. Why were you sending the negative vibration? Well, I was thinking about it. Well, why were you thinking about it? Well, I was writing about it, or talking about it, or reading about it, or complaining about it, or worrying about it. So if I want to get different results, I need to reset my results. And the way I reset my results, I need to reset the vibe that I'm sending. And in order for me to reset my vibe, I need to reset my thoughts. And in order to reset my thoughts, I really need to reset the story by eliminating the words don't, not, and no. So here's your homework. Between now and the rest of your life, Every time you use the word don't, not, and no in that very sentence, say, so what do I want? Let's practice. You can give a couple golf examples. I'm going to give business examples. Oh, I don't like when my client cancels. Well, I just put that out there. And Michael Losier's voice said, so what do you want? Well, you know what? I like when clients keep their appointments, like yesterday. 7 clients, boom, all of them. Now, I'm going to tell that story a little bit longer. How come? Because I want to change the words. So yesterday, 7 clients, best 10 clients I have. They all showed up a couple minutes early. We got connected quickly and easily. Boom. Or I hate when clients cancel. One client, you know what? The word responsibility, Jeff, has 2 words buried within it. What's one?
Response.
What's the other one?
Ability.
That's right. Responsibility. So here's your homework again between now and the rest of your life. Every time you use the word don't, not, and no, just say, so what do I want? And then the words change. You might say, don't forget. What do I want? Remember. Isn't that better? Imagine working with your kids. You know, don't eat in the living room. So what do I want? Eat in the kitchen. Don't leave your dirty clothes on the floor. What do I want? Put them in the hamper, you know. Oh, I don't want to fumble, you know, every time I'm on the golf course. I don't want to be awkward talking to people. So what do I want? Like this is, you know what I'm doing today? I'm brainwashing you. I'm washing your brain of the things that aren't serving you. The elimination of the words don't, not, and no. Here is, again, whenever you use the word don't, not, and oh, here's what I want to show you. This is an affirmation, and an affirmation is something you are declaring. This is what I want people to get today. I'll read it as well. I'm in the process of reducing and eliminating the words don't, not, and no. When I do have to use them, I'll remember to ask, what do I want? Here's what happens, Jeff. When I go from what I don't want to what I do want, the words change. And when the words change, the thoughts change. When the thoughts change, the vibes change. And now I'm holding a new vibe. And law of attraction doesn't know what the vibe was I was sending yesterday because it's not smart, it's obedient. Now, law of attraction is eavesdropping on the new vibe that I'm saying when I'm talking about what I want to have happen today on the golf course on the way there. That's where the game starts, in the car. What is inside your golfer mind on the way to the golf course? I can tell you when I wasn't in the car with you. I can tell what was in your mind on the way there by the results you got on your last game. It's always a perfect match.
Okay, for the past several weeks, I've been telling you about our partners, LivePure, LIVPUR. They make hydration, energy, and recovery packets that you can mix into your water bottle, take to the gym, take to the golf course, or just take with you in everyday life situations. But everybody is loving them. I've had several people tagging us on Instagram. I've had people email me about how much they love the stuff, and especially because of the quality of the ingredients that are in the products. I've said it before that Dr. Troy Van Biesen, who works with some of the greatest players on the tour, Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Zach Johnson, all of these guys, he helped formulate these products to make sure that they were the cleanest ingredients, but also they're providing you with the most bang for your buck when you're out there on the course or in your workouts. They've got the hydration drink, they've got the energy drink, and they've got the recovery drink, all of which taste amazing. Everybody keeps telling me, and like I said, that they taste like Kool-Aid, and they really, really do. So I want you to go check out the LivePure products, LIVPUR.com. You can get 15% off everything that you order just by being part of the 18 Strong crew. All you got to do is use the code 18STRONG when you're checking out. So be sure to go over there, stock up for the summertime, get it for the hot days that are coming up very, very soon. LIVPUR.com. Use the code 18STRONG. Well, I think that example, or those examples that you're talking about there, like I can even picture, standing on the tee box, just saying the words, I don't want to hit it in the water, makes you feel a certain way, right? But if you say, I'm going to pipe this one right down the fairway further than I have before. It makes you feel more confident. You can kind of feel yourself stand up a little taller and feel a little stronger. And just that little simple example, I think
Now, some
expresses it.
people don't really like that little affirmation style, right?
Mm-hmm.
Here's my style. Here's my ideal shot. So just call it the ideal shot, because when you think about the ideal shot, you're not thinking about what you don't want. You're thinking of what would be ideal. Boom, boom, boom. Here'd be my ideal golf day. Here'd be my ideal lunch date or lunch connection, or my ideal client or customer. Just call them ideal. And by doing that, it causes you to talk about what would be ideal. And as you're talking about what would be ideal, you're including the vibration of an ideal, whatever you're including it. In the car, on the way to the game, play the ideal game and include the vibration of what you desire.
I'd really like to dive into, there's three big components in your book that you talk about for the deliberate attraction. And
Yes.
if you could, I'd love for you to really go in. Obviously, we've talked about the don't, not, and know, and kind of having that idea of, okay, what don't I want? I know what I don't want, and I'll let you kind of take it from there because you'll be able to explain it so much better than me.
We're going to make that part two.
Okay.
Because honestly, what I gave today is going to be a big paradigm shift to practice it. Then, because you know what we're talking about today? Today we're talking about cleaning up your vibe, period. Negative thoughts, experiences. Then you can order something. Then you can say, but you can't attract positive stuff when you got a negative vibe. Part one today, inside the golfer's mind, how to clean up your negative vibration so you can stop your negative results. On another episode, we will talk about how to be a deliberate attractor. What do I need to do to put the ideal energy in motion? Because here's the hack. Law of attraction doesn't know how the vibe got in here. It's just matching it. On the next episode.
Excellent. Future episode. I love it. All right, so I have a couple questions for you just regarding the thought and the frame around the idea of the law of attraction. How some people kind of, I would say that many people in general population might think that it's kind of a little, I hate to use the phrase woo woo or whatever, but what do you say to somebody that thinks or comes to you with some sort of backlash as far as the law of attraction, just that term in general?
I've never attracted it. In my entire career, I've never attracted anybody like that. My ideal interview, my ideal client, my ideal everything is people that are interested, open to, or having experienced it. It would be against the law for me to attract somebody that didn't match my vibrations. And when I do, they quickly get pinged away. Because you know why? I'm selfish. I'm selfish about what I allow in my vibration. Selfish equals self-care. In other words, I care about what I attract so much, I don't allow negative conversation or negative interviews. You don't have to like it. I don't like peanut butter. You do, big deal. Or when people say, oh, I'd like to argue that. You don't need to argue with me. I don't care. Oh, I disagree. I wasn't asking you for it to agree. Mind your own vibration is my little motto. Just mind your own vibration. It's your only job.
So to recap a little bit for everybody, the words that we don't want to use, don't, not, and no, right? And what we do want to say moving forward, what we do want to ask ourselves is, what do I want? Is there anything else that you want to leave us with here as we've got our golfers tuned in? Obviously, we're going to tell them where to find your book and all the resources, because, guys, we literally have touched about 10% of the book, and there's so much more here.
Pages, honestly, the first 7 pages. And listen, in my glory days, I would have got paid thousands of dollars to do this 25-minute presentation. So it's a great value. You know why? Because I brainwashed everybody. I changed their life forever. The most important thing you're leaving today is that you have the ability to reset negative results to positive results by resetting the words, by eliminating don't, not, and no, by keep asking, so what do I want? Jeff, thank you for letting me come into your podcast and help out some golfers on the way to the golf game.
Michael, thank you so much. I have a couple final questions that I know we're not going to ask you any golf questions because you're not a golfer. So the typical question that we ask is, what golf movies do we love, or what book do you recommend? Is there a book outside of your books, of course, a book that you love to recommend to people, and it can be in any realm whatsoever?
You know what? I've been interviewed 1,000 times and I'm just so vulnerable. I graduated 32 years ago. You know how many books I read in 32 years? 9. I have 4 books in my house. 3 of them are mine. There, just don't want to have me answer those questions.
No, that's good.
I know people have a lot of judgments about that. I wrote 3 best-selling books, sold a total of 4 million in 37 languages. I've developed training programs all over the world, and I've read 9 books.
No judgment whatsoever. So we tend to ask people what song they would like to have playing when they go up to the first tee box. I'm curious for you, what's a song, if you're a music guy, that you love to put on to change, that always brings a good vibe to you, if you have one?
Yeah, well, when I was in Malaysia, I had a big team. I was there. Sometimes I'd go for a month. And in Malaysia, they don't play. They don't mess around. Everything's big. Everything's opulent. So they had a music that sounded like steel drums. You know what a steel drum music is?
Mm-hmm.
And it's very rare. And I love that beat. And they would play it in the room. So I'd like that. And then when we were doing more written exercises, we'd play real subtle music. But the opening music, I like energy and I like drums and I like the sound of a steel drum.
Awesome. Any last pieces of advice for the 18 Strong crew here? And then where's the best place that they can go find you, the book, and all of the stuff that you're doing?
Yeah. Well, the book's only available on Amazon.com. It's easy to breezy to find. So they can go to lawofattractionbook.com. That'll take them to all my stuff. I've got lots of them for people.
Excellent. Michael, I can't thank you enough for taking the time today and just for the work that you've done.
Enough. You cannot thank enough. So what could you say?
Michael, thank you so much for coming on the show today. It's been such a pleasure, and I am really excited about the 18 Strong crew digging in deeper to your book, your content, and what this is going to do for them out on the golf course.
Great work, Jeff. Thank you very much.
All right. Thanks for joining us again on the 18 Strong podcast. What an incredible episode with Michael Losier. Look, it's all about asking what you really want and reframing that question in your head of not what you don't want, but what do you want, and thinking about that over and over and over and focusing on that to continue to produce the results that you know that you can get, or the results that you're aspiring to get. If you want any more information on Michael, you can find his book and the link to that in our show notes at 18strong.com. Just look up episode number 318, Michael Losier, Losier. Again, don't forget to check out our partners over at Linksole and at LivePure. That's 18strong.com/Linksole to get 20% off of all of your apparel needs, including the lightweight hoodie that I was telling you about. And go to LivePure, LIVPUR.com. Use the code 18strong to get 15% off of all of your products over there. Again, I want to thank you for joining us on the 18 Strong podcast and being part of the 18 Strong crew. I do ask one favor of you as you leave the show, aside from taking everything that you learned here from Michael and applying that into your life, applying that into your golf game, applying that into your workouts, your fitness, your nutrition. I ask one favor of you for coming to the show. If you found this episode beneficial, if you found value in this episode, I ask that you share the podcast with a friend. Either share it on social media or literally tell somebody about it. Michael's message is incredible, and we want to continue to bring on incredible guests like him. And the way that this show grows is by you guys, the 18 Strong community, continuing to blast it out there and share it with a friend. So find one friend that you know could use this message or think that they'll enjoy the podcast, and we would really appreciate it. We thank you again so much for what you guys do for us. We're going to continue to bring on some great guests here at 18 Strong. We'll talk to you next week. All right.